Hello, good friends. This is Emily from Booknote Literary Services. I am a literary consultant, a professional book editor, and a writing coach of fiction. I'm here to talk to you about two great writers' resources that I love, and I just enjoy sharing my recommended resources and showing you what I've used over the years. So let's talk a little bit about these. I have Grammar Girls, Quick and Dirty Tips for Better Writing, and I have the Flip Dictionary. So let's talk about these two books. I don't know if you can even find this book. I found this book at a used bookstore probably 10 years ago. It's the Flip Dictionary for when you know what you want to say, but you can't think of a word, by Barbara Ann Kipfer, K-I-P-F-E-R, and it is absolutely fabulous. I use it all the time. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm writing every day, hours a day for the last 8 years. I'm on my fourth novel. Each one is about 700 pages. I even have a beginning of a fifth novel, a future novel done that won't even come until later. And I just, when I write, I catch myself using so many of the same words over and over, or the same expressions, or the same beats. And so I feel like I need a little, so sometimes I'll pick up another novel and look at it, get some ideas, or I'll refer to this book. So what is in this book? Everything. Let me give you some examples here. So if you were to look up the term odds and ends, okay, here's a term for odds and ends. You have assortments, hodgepodge, jumble, leftovers, paraphernalia, remnants, scraps, sundries, mixture, podgepodge. I mean, it's kind of a neat book. We have a whole section on different kinds of football terms, sports terms, historical time periods, and other ways they've been referred to. We have something like expel, how to expel something, banished, discharge, eject, eliminate, evict, exile, oust, remove, spew. We have common teachers' terms and how to say them differently. I mean, there's really just everything in this book you can think of, and it's all alphabetical. So to defraud somebody, to bamboozle, bilk, cheat, con, deceive, embezzle, fleece, gyp, rob, rock, skin, swindle, trick. We have, I mean, like at the top we have boxes. Here we have certain kinds of card games. We have here terms for certain gymnastics, sports. I mean, every few pages there's some kind of a box with special words. We have types of bedroom, types of rooms, and words that relate to them. So we have a room for a sweat bath, a room for a cabin and ship rooms, a room for therapy, and then all the words, pages of words that would be associated to different types of rooms. We have different types of religions and words that go with them. I mean, it's really a great book. It's not just a thesaurus. I mean, it has some elements of a thesaurus, but it's more of a, if you have a general concept of something, like you have a disaster, it's not just other words for disaster, it's whole other ways to describe a disaster. That isn't just a word, it can be a whole concept. Sometimes they'll give you several words, like a phrase. I mean, look here, we have a chart for green, the color green. Moss, myrtle, Niagara green, parrot, pea green, sage green, sea green, shamrock, teal, spruce. So fabulous book, love it. I mean, it's fat, but it's fairly light. I've used that many times over my writing years. So Grammar Girl, I don't know if you've heard of Grammar Girl. She has a website, a blog, and a podcast, even a YouTube channel. She's been around forever. I love her voice. I love her witticisms. This book is fabulous. You can even go to her website and listen to some of her free podcasts, and you can go on there and read some of her articles. Grammar Girl's Quick and Dirty Tips for Better Writing. Her name is Mignon Forty. It's hard to say. But it's probably the easiest book I've read on that explains hard to understand things, like a pet peeve. The pet peeve of hardcore nitpickers, nauseous versus nauseated, when to use which. So I really like that. Guilty as charged, when to use pled versus pleaded. People these days, people versus persons, when to use which. So it's really neat. I mean, it has some cartoons in here, using they as a singular, you know. It's not so much what are the rules of a dangling modifier, what are the rules of past, present, and future tense. It's not so dry as grammar. It's kind of funny, and she gives really good examples in here. It's a really neat book. When to make exceptions to things. If there were fewer grammarians, when to use less versus fewer. If there were fewer grammarians, count nouns versus mass nouns. I am woman, hear me roar. When to use female versus woman. I mean, it's a really great book. Bring it on. When to use the word bring versus take. So really, you can't go wrong with this book. I'm sure you can find a used copy. I just read it and practice some of the stuff in here. She doesn't give you a lot of exercises, but she explains a lot and it's interesting to read. No one really reads grammar books for fun, but this more is like something that you wouldn't mind reading. But start by checking out her blog and checking out her videos and her YouTube stuff. And I think if you ever have a grammar question, I would go to the Grammar Girl website, or I would just go to this book. Okay, you guys, keep an eye out. I'm going to continuously give you new resources for your fiction writing needs. If you have any questions, email me, Emily@booknoteliterary.com, or view my blog or website, www.booknoteliterary.com. Have a great day.